Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we're doing a review impressions of a knife called a Standard. This is designed by a company called Golden Designworks. The gentleman who started that is Blaze Golden, and he's the one who designed the knife. Very, very cool knife. What you'll see right here, we'll get into a little bit about the details and talk about it. The knife name is called a Standard. And the manufacturer is Bestech, that's who the OEM is. And the designer is Blaze Golden. And so we'll talk a little bit about the materials. This is titanium scales that are put on top titanium liners. So it is all titanium. And just in case you want to see, all titanium, nothing magnetic except for the blade. The blade is magnetic, but that's about it. So, and the pivot, obviously, and the screws. But, well, actually, I think the screws are titanium too. And the pivots, yeah, screws are titanium. Anyway, so milled deep pocket carry clip, which is really nice. It looks like it's like a crimped one, but it's not. It's actually a milled one. It's inset into the scale itself. It is not reversible. It's right hand tip up only. So sorry, lefties. It's kind of got, it looks like a Scandi grind a little bit, but it's not. It is got an edge here, and it's a pretty sharp edge. It's dropped up really, really nicely. It's a great little blade. I think people would really enjoy this. There's still some of these available. It's M390 blade steel. It is a subframe liner lock, so you'll see that, which has got a steel bar insert, so it's steel to steel contact, so you know lock stick, which is really nice. That's sort of a hidden, I don't know, you want to call it a lanyard hole. I guess you could sort of call it that. I don't really know what you want to call that. It's kind of just a design, I think. And if you'll notice, you know, it really, really calls into the fact that it's got to be dead centered. So, which it is. It's really greatly nice dead center. This particular one, I did put Skiff washers in there, which made a huge difference, I think, as far as smoothness and action. And it has a nice drop shut action on there. This kind of a flipper allows you to do a front flipper like that, and you know, a little off to the side like that, obviously. And then you have a nice thumb hole or fuller hole, so you have a nice reverse flick or even thumb flick over there. Likewise, left-handed, right-handed with that nice bolstered subframe lock here. I think that's really, really, really cool. Now, the original design, you can get the dimple pattern, a wave pattern, and then there was also another pattern that I bought afterwards. He had some extra scales. It's sort of a vertical wave. The other one was, you know, horizontal. Sorry. Yeah, the other ones were vertical. These are horizontal if you look at the blade this way. I guess it would be, this would be vertical and the other ones would be horizontal. And this is raw titanium, not finished, so you could anodize this or what have you. I got these. I haven't had a chance to do anything like that, and I don't know if I will. I might sell this knife, so we will see. This just something cool you could do, some potential with the knife, obviously. I like the action on here. It's really nice. Blade, nice and in there, solid. There's no pivot lash. I think anytime you put skiffs in there, anytime you have any pivot lash, that's going to go away just because their tolerance is so good. Nice detent. Let's listen to that. Nice click. No detent lash. It's in there really solidly. Beautiful action. Beautiful drop. Now, one thing that I did do, this is modified. When this first came in, it wasn't cut out right here. Okay, so if you can see this, it was like this all the way across here. And a lot of reviewers, when they got the prototypes, they all suggested that it'd be cut out. It made it much easier. And I can tell you, when I had it, if I left it like that, it would cut my finger regularly. It was very uncomfortable, and I didn't like that. So I went ahead and did a mod here, and I started doing it on a couple of other knives. So I felt pretty comfortable. It came out pretty nicely, I think. You know, being my first one, I think it looks really good as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if, you know, I'm not the modders, you know, if, you know, you want to pay a couple $100 for them to do it, I'm sure they could do a way better job, but I think this is really nice, and it's very satisfying to me because it does allow me to get in there, drop it, and catch it now without having to worry about guillotining my finger. So that's really nice. All right, so materials, M390. It's got a small swedge up there. You know, swedges allow you to navigate your blade. It looks like stone washed on the blade, satin finish up here. Stone wash is always great because it'll cover up any sort of scratches if you're hard used. Sharpens up pretty nice. It's got a finger choil, which is really nice when you get up there. So the materials allow for that, where everything comes in there in contact. So that's a little bit about it. The action, like I said, we talked about the opening. We talked about the closing is really nice. You know, it does allow you to get in there. You know, once I did this and rounded this out, it's really nice, easy action. It's not very tiring on the finger. It was a little bit at first. So that was one of the other things. So if you like to fidget with your knife, this is something I might recommend you consider doing. definitely, I think, worth it. I'm hoping if he does a future release of the standard, he'll consider, you know, having a little cutaway for there, especially when people have big meaty fingers like me. If you've got skinny little itty bitty stick fingers, then you'll be fine. But if you want to have that nice cutaway, there's a lot of benefit, I think, to that. And so there you go. All right, so we talked about the lock and everything. Let's do a little bit of measurements on this one. See how much this guy weighs. All right, so this one weighs 3.63 ounces, so not bad. 3.63 ounces, not bad at all. And let's do a little measurement of the length. 3.63 ounces, we'll get an overall length on the blade. So overall length on the blade, we're looking at something that's exactly 7.5 inches. If we look at from here from the finger troll, we've got about 3 3/4. If we go to use the full finger troll, I got about 4.5 to 4 5/8 inches, so pretty good amount of hand. So if you've got large hands, medium large hands, the choil is very usable, right? It's very functional. Unless you got massively bigger media fingers than me, this is a very functional, useful choil. You're not going to really worry much about. Okay, it's got some nice jimping here. It really prevents you from moving up and down. Very functional jimping as far as I'm concerned, even with the swedge, which is really, really nice. Right, so that's good. Now the overall blade length that we're talking about here, we are looking at from the tip to the back of the scale, about 3 1/4 inches, but overall cutting length, we are right at, yeah, I'm going to say 2.2 and maybe 7/8, 2 7/8 of an inch. So, you know, it's a smaller blade. It's along the lines of something like you would have with a pair of 3 or something. So, you know, that's nice. I like this grip right here. And matter of fact, this deep pocket carry clip doesn't have any hot spots. When I grab on here, it feels pretty comfortable. It's nice and rounded, so you don't have to worry about that. Everything else is rounded all the way around, which is really nice. You can grab here. It's got some traction, but it's not enough to tear anything up. Something that I think is pretty nice. All right, let's look at the overall blade stock. Okay, so we might actually have to, let's see if we can take this out. All right. Its overall blade stock is 133.5, so 133 thousandths of an inch, 134 thousandths of an inch. So it's 0.133, 1.134 inches. That's not bad. It's a little heavier duty than most, so it's a pretty robust. I feel like it could really be used well, right? It's got a nice hardy blade. It's got good thickness. It does come relatively to a thin edge. It's not a super thin slicer, so keep that in mind, but it, you know, the edge is really great. It's very functional. Has a nice robust tip, good for poking, like you're getting into dog food, cat food, you know, cases of water, mulch, you know, feed, whatever else you're doing. This will work really nicely. I think it has a very good functional use. All right, so is this a budget knife? Well, no, this runs around $269, so it's going to be a regular knife. You know, depending on what you get, if you get some extra scales, you know, I could put it up to a little higher end, but whatever you do. I bought some extra hardware and everything with it, which I think is good to have, because you could anodize that if you wanted to, or just have it for backup. But yeah, this is definitely going to be in the regular size. I think for everything you get, the quality of the knife, overall design and function and finish on this thing, $269 is a very, very good price. I think it's a great deal. All right, so is this an EDC knife? Absolutely EDC. Is it hard use? I think it really could be. It's got a really great liner lock, or you know, subframe lock, if you will. Really, really great function, and really locks in there solidly. So I think you could. Now, is it go out bushwhacking, cut logs with? No. If you're gonna do that, get a fixed blade, get an axe. But if you're in a pinch and you need to do some hard work, I think absolutely you could definitely do some hard work with this one. This would be a really reliable knife. It feels like it's got some function to it. Is it a collection piece? It could be. I mean, you can collect whatever you want, but it definitely has some unique aesthetics that might be something people might want to have in their collection for long term. So there is that, something to consider. All right, overall ergonomics and design of the blade. The handle and everything. I love the function. It's got an interesting look. This may not be your aesthetic. I like it a lot. I like the front flipping. It works really great. You can do the side flipping, works really great. The reverse flicking both left and right handed works really great. The thumb hole, you can put your thumb in there and get a nice flick. And if you wanted to, obviously, you can do a nice slow roll. So if you're a nice slow roll person, there you go. That's really great. I think that is nice. The drop action, especially, you know, with skips, I think it's just great, right? It's just beautiful. Beautifully centered, stays centered, has stayed centered. Just nothing's kind of creeping on the screws, loosening up or anything like that. So that's really, really nice. I do really enjoy that. Opening and closing is fantastic. So as far as fidget factor, well, you know, the fact that I can I can do a reach around, the fact that I can do a side close, the fact that I can do a front flipper, all of that stuff. I can even reach from the very top like that, you know, just come up here and just kind of go across. The fact that I can do all of that and have all of these different multiple deployments, I'm going to put this up into the 7.5, almost an 8 in fidget factor. So as far as fidgety goodness, it executes them all really, really, really well. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's just very, very functional, right? There is, by the way, a little bonus middle finger flick. You can get in there. It's flat enough. If you get your middle finger in there, it's enough traction. You can get in there and you just do a reverse flick, right? And I can do it both left-handed and right-handed. So bonus, that's why I did a 7.5. Really would probably put it over to an 8, but I would say definitely 7.5, but out of fidgety goodness, this is going to get 100%. Obviously, this is a super fidget-friendly knife. Now, I will say before we did a little cutaway here for the relief for the liner lock or the subframe lock here, it would really have suffered quite a bit, right? But this makes it really fantastic. So if you get the standard one and you don't do this, the score could be significantly lower. Just to let you know, I did this because I felt like this is such a good knife that I wanted to do something like this to make it work. And it does, and it works well. So really, really great knife as far as that is concerned. So fidgety goodness, I'm going to give it 100% like this. Without that, realistically, what would I give it? I'd probably be in the 80%. It'd probably be a B, maybe a B+. It's just enough when you're dropping here and you can't catch that, and you know you're going to catch your nail or your thumb. That to me is just, it's a concerning thing, right? After a while, you can get cut and just makes you not want to carry the knife. So to me, that's important. But as is like this, if you do the cutaway and the modification, absolutely 100%. Otherwise, it's a solid B, maybe 85, right? Overall, final thoughts. Is it recommended? Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it's recommended. I think it's a great knife. I think you would do well to have this knife. It would work well. You know, if you're not willing to do this and that's really important to you, then, you know, consider that. Maybe if you're not willing to do the cutaway and you don't know how to do that, or you don't have anybody who can do it for you, you know, maybe it's not for you. And this is important. If that's not important for you and you just like it, then go for it, right? And if you know how to do a little cutaway or you have somebody who can do that, then I would recommend that because it makes this knife just phenomenal. So, again, a great design, really nice aesthetics, nice ergonomics. I like a lot of things about this. I think it's going to be a great knife to recommend and for people to use. So that's my overall thoughts on this. I don't know what you all think about it. Feel free to comment down below. This is going to be kind of a quick review of this, impressions. Just wanted to kind of talk about the knife. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's worth getting. I think there's still some available. I know he's coming out with a really cool new design that I can't wait for. But this is definitely pretty cool. So if you have any questions for me or the channel or about this review, please comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I do try to reply to all of them when I can, right? So, and I do appreciate all of you guys, all of the subscribers out there. Thank you to you guys. And to you guys who are watching this maybe for the first time, please consider hitting that like button down below. And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button, because subscribing and liking the channel really helps out, especially if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or informative. That would be really huge. And I would really appreciate that, because that really allows the channel to grow. Hey, and if you've done all that, maybe consider hitting the notification button so you can be notified of future content. And also, you know, if you haven't, you know, there is a thing called memberships. And so if some of you guys really find the content helpful to you guys and you want to support the channel, I would love to have you guys as members. That would be a great honor. I have several members now, and I really, really appreciate them. So all you channel members out there, you rock, you're awesome. Thank you. Does allow the channel to do more things, allow me to have more things to get a hold of, to grow, to expand, ultimately to do more things for you guys. So thank you so much to you guys. I really, really do appreciate that. Hey, and if you haven't already, maybe check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.